Between 1966 to 1999, the government of Nigeria was ruled by the military government, apart from the short return of democracy between 1979 to 1983. That was the government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari and Dr. Alex Ekwueme. But before then, let us look at the coup d'etats and how they happened and the things behind them. The first coup d'etat happened on 15 January 1966 when young military officer led by Chukwuemeka Kaduna Nzogo carried out a coup d'etat. Okay, they took out the First Republic of Tafawa Balewa, Ahmadu Bello, who was then the Northern Premier, and Samuel Akintola, who was then the Western Premier. They took out the Minister of Finance, Okoti Edo. Okay, and then that came the government of the first military head of state, Agi Ironsi, General Agi Ironsi, who had just returned from peacekeeping in Congo. Now, Agi Ironsi took over the government, and barely 6 months, there was another coup d'etat. This was a kind of revenge, a kind of counter coup d'etat. So after the pogrom, they came for Agi Ironsi, and that was on 29 July 1966. Agi Ironsi was in Ibadan with his friend Fuji, who was then the military governor of the Western Nigeria. They were somewhere in their house in Ibadan, and then Agi Ironsi requested for a helicopter to come take him away from there because the military have surrounded everywhere because they want to take him out. But they never came because it was a planting. So that coup d'etat was practically, allegedly orchestrated by one of his aides, who was Theophilus Danjuma. According to eyewitness, who was Bello, Agi Ironsi was dragged into a bush in Ibadan and was beaten mercilessly. He was dragged on a vehicle and eventually died. That was a very painful coup d'etat. And then Yakubu Gowon, who was a very young military officer at the age of 31 years and 286 days, became the military head of state. You know what happened? The civil war and the rest of it. Then Yakubu Gowon, let us look at the how Yakubu Gowon was sacked through coup d'etat, because that coup d'etat used to make me laugh sometimes. Okay, on 29th July 1975, Yakubu Gowon went for a meeting at OAU Summit in Kampala. He was called by Jonathan Gaba. This is one of his close aide friend, never to come back again, for there is now a coup d'etat. Can you imagine going for a meeting and then you are being called never to come back to your house again, that someone has taken over? That was a very funny kind of way, but they never wanted him to die. That's why they did it that way. But there's a coincidence. Agi Ironsi got killed on the 29th July 1966. Okay, Yakubu Gowon got deposed from power on 29 July 1975. What a coincidence. And then Murtala Muhammed took over. Murtala Muhammed was just on 13th February 1976, barely 200 days in office. And then there was an abortive coup d'etat led by Bukar Dinka. Bukar Dinka carried out an abortive coup, and Murtala Muhammed died on his way to Dothan Barracks in Lagos. He was shot in his Benz, saloon Benz. Not be today Benz that they do things. Okay, but that was a very painful one for Murtala Muhammed. Okay, but unfortunately for Dinka, that coup d'etat was abortive. So Dinka was caught and he was assassinated. Okay, he was assassinated. And then came Obasanjo. Obasanjo then handed over to a civilian elected democratic government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari and Dr. Alex Ekwueme between 1979 to 1983. Okay, but then the military came again, and this time around it is Muhammadu Buhari. He sacked that government. Okay, he sacked the government, and Buhari was everywhere doing his usual thing, blaming everybody. Buhari said that Nigerians lack discipline, okay, and he brought discipline rules and the rest of it. But many people believe that Buhari was so powerful during the military regime, but the truth is that Buhari had a backbone, okay, who was very, very strong, and that was Idi Agbon. Idi Agbon was a literate soldier, okay. And if you find out, before the coup d'etat happened, before the Babangida took over power from Muhammadu Buhari on 27th August 1985, they make sure they took out Idi Agbon. Idi Agbon wanted to go to Mecca. They sponsored him to go to Mecca. Immediately Idi Agbon went to Mecca for pilgrimage. They took out Buhari, okay, in a coup d'etat. This coup d'etat was called Palace coup d'etat. I wonder where they got that name from. These military guys really have dictions. Okay, they took out Muhammadu Buhari, and then came Babangida. Babangida was a bad guy. He stayed there for a long time. Even when Gideon Okra tried to assassinate him through coup d'etat, the man never wanted to take another chance. He moved the capital of Nigeria from Lagos to Abuja in 1999. And so what happened? Babangida was there for a long time. People could not carry coup d'etat because man knows how to pay his dues. Nigeria was tired and they were saying, Babangida, you have to go, man. You have to go. And then he decided to do what was called an interim government. And then in 1993, he brought Ernest Shanikan. Ernest Shanikan was there. He was just like a sheep waiting to be devoured by a lion. Okay. And then there you have Abacha. Abacha came into power. Okay. He was there for a long time. Abacha literally and allegedly has been termed a dictator. Okay. Abacha came into power and he was there for a long time. No one could carry out a coup d'etat, but the ultimate price of coup d'etat, which was death, took out Abacha on the 8th of June 1998. But there's a coincidence. Babangida took over from Buhari on 27th August 1985, and then he handed over power to Ernest Shanikan on 27th August 1993. I love that coincidence. But the thing is this, there was so much bloodshed in the country. The coup d'etats, there was so much bloodshed. A lot of people died and so many things happened. I passed this message without trying to make you feel so emotional and cry, because you said I should make a video for you and I didn't want you to feel tears in your eyes. But I hope you got the message. For this country I've passed through bloodshed and bloodshed and bloodshed, and the blood of the innocent has spilled on the ground. And we hope we don't continue in this trajectory. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. For Wisdom Africa, wisdom is the principal thing.